Hi everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing a game called Battlefleet Gothic Armada. It's a Warhammer 40,000 game. It's based off of the... oh god, what was that thing called? It's basically space battles. I don't know how else to put it. I think it was called Battlefleet. I'm not sure. I might be out of my mind. But there was an old game, a board game, that basically involved huge fleets of ships across a board that was the galaxy, and that's kind of what they did with this. I've already played a little bit of this, so this isn't a first impression or anything like that. I do kind of like the game a little bit, but I haven't played enough of it yet to make too much of a judgment, but I figured I'd just go ahead and show you guys what it looks like, what it sounds like, what it plays like. And with that said, let's just jump right in. Go ahead and load my campaign. First off, the music's really nice. The voice acting isn't terrible. Sometimes it can be really annoying. The commissar in particular tends to yell a lot. It's really actually annoying when he yells because he's always yelling. I mean, it's kind of what a commissar is supposed to do in Warhammer 40k, is literally just yell at people and get them to do stuff. But yeah, other than that, I like the voice acting. I like the little... It's actually kind of surprising, the story parts, this part. I haven't really got into it very much, so I'm not sure if they're going to keep going with it, if they're going to actually flesh it out or not. But it was a nice surprise to actually see that there was a story at all. Honestly, I didn't expect one. I expected them to be pretty bare bones about the whole thing.
Admiral Spire.
Alright, this guy's your boss. I am Admiral Spire, or you play as Admiral Spire. Admirable Spire.
Agents have identified the enemy flagship and confirmed that it contains vital information about our enemy's intentions.
Cool. Okay, so we have to go find this flagship, this Chaos flagship, right here. So you can see this is the galaxy map that I am actually currently in. This is the sector map. This is only one sector in the galaxy. You can see over here it says Lost World 1, Lost World. I've lost one, and I think this is it. Pretty sure that's the one. I have 2 deployments this turn, and then down here you have end turn, of course. That means I can fly 2 missions per turn right now. I'll go ahead and show you really quickly the upgrading section of the game where you can mess with your fleet. And then I'll go ahead and run through a mission, this next mission, which I actually haven't done yet. So I have no idea how this is going to go. So these are the 3 light cruisers that I have. This is the main one, the one you kind of start with. Kind of see if I can get my camera to actually move. You can kind of take a look at it. It looks pretty cool. I mean, you know, it's definitely a light cruiser. It's not a battleship or anything quite yet. Those I'd be interested to see because they're supposed to be huge. And then there's another one. You know, there's all 3 of them. They're basically the exact same ship design. They're just different loadouts. You can see under here there is a different loadout for every one. My main one, I just decided I was kind of gonna make it kind of a tanky ship, and then this guy, which is the one you get for free, he's sort of a torpedo ship, so I'm not really sure what to do with him. But I kind of figured since he's a torpedo ship, he might be better off with some kind of maneuvering thrusters so he can actually aim, because torpedoes only shoot out the front, and they're kind of manual shots. It's really weird. And then finally, this guy here, which I haven't actually played with yet, is kind of a bomber in torpedo. And I actually, like I said, I haven't been able to play with him yet, because I haven't had I don't want to call it requisition. It was kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like the requisition. I'll go ahead and see what the actual name of it is, but you have a certain amount of points you're allowed to use for every single mission, and these guys cost too much points to use all 3 at once, so I haven't used this one yet. And then of course you have escort ships, which are basically smaller versions of the cruisers. They're just really fast little gunships, essentially, and they all have different loadouts. And I'll go ahead and show you really quickly just how this works. So you have stats for the actual ship itself. You have this right here, which is like your loadout of weapons, and they'll show you where they're at on the ship, which I think is pretty cool. The most important thing about that is, of course, it kind of says it towards the bottom of it. It says angle of fire 90 degrees front. This one says angle of fire 270 degrees front. This is important because this will dictate how your ship will fight. If it's a front, firing ship, then you're going to need to tell it to fire from the front. Otherwise, it'll just circle around and never use its front guns. Now, these guys over here, like the Firestorm frigate, has 2 guns, and they're both able to shoot in the front. This one's a 90-degree front, and then that one is a 270-degree front. They're both up in the front. So basically, if you have a ship in front of you with this ship and you have it set to shoot in the front, it'll end up doing really well. But if you do anything else with it, it'll end up dying and wasting you money. Alright, so that's kind of, a real quick rundown. But you also have like things like upgrades. You can upgrade the engine, the generator, the deck, the hull, and weaponry. And then as your ship levels up, you actually end up getting more slots. So you can see this guy has a lot of slots underneath him. That's partly because those 2 slots are his torpedo. I'll go ahead and show you that again. See, he's got a prow medium torpedo launcher, whereas this guy does not. He has a lance up in the front, basically a huge laser, which is why he doesn't have those 2 open. So they're actually the same level. They have the same amount of stuff unlocked. They just have different weapons. But anyway, upgrades. So you can basically upgrade stuff like maneuvering thrusters, and asteroid damage to the ship is negated from generator. You can do all sorts of weird stuff and basically customize your ships however you like. And then you've got skills, which are kind of like upgrades, but they're like on a timer. So for this guy, I have a supercharged void shield. Basically makes my void shield impenetrable for 10 seconds. So it really helps out with the tank. This guy has a auger probe, which is basically your scout. It's like you shoot a probe off into the middle of nowhere, and anything it encounters along the way, it uncovers. So if there's a stealth ship on the way to you, or if there's a armada or a fleet or something on the other side of the map and you want to see how many of them there are and what kind of ships they are, that's the thing to use. It goes a little bit faster than the ships. It's still pretty slow. I'll show you in the mission when we actually start. But it is useful. It's definitely useful. And then this guy here has a plasma bomb. So you teleport a bomb somewhere and it does 100 damage in the area, and in the area directly around the blast, and then 50% of the radius outside of that it does 50 damage instead of 100. It's kind of cool. I haven't actually got to use it yet, but I have seen I've seen it in action on some YouTube videos. I am slow, so that's why I'm doing it now. And finally, I haven't seen any favors. I haven't unlocked that yet, but I have actually seen crew. Your crew does level up as they go out there and fight. They get better and better. You can see on my main ship, I have given the Master Gunner a little bit of a level up down here. Basically gives me 25% critical chance to my lances and my macro weapons, which are those giant guns on the side there. And I have +1 to my Navigator, which gives me a little bit less chance to get lost in the warp. And it also makes it easier for me to warp. This guy is basically across the board almost the same. The only thing is, because he tends to be in closer, because it's easier to hit people with torpedoes that way, I decided to go with a little bit more rattings, which basically gives you more troop value, which makes you harder to board, and it also makes it easier for you to board other people. This guy has nothing because I haven't played with him yet. So that's basically it. I mean, there's a lot more to it, but because there's a lot of stuff you can do with your ships. I'm already kind of seeing that. But that's the basics of it. You've got your crew, you've got your upgrades, you've got your basically your fittings on your ships, and you've got your ships themselves. So let's just jump right into a mission.
Spire, we've confirmed the presence of the Chaos flagship. The Inquisitor's agents inform us that this vessel is only lightly defended. Sure
it is. Chaos just hanging out there, lightly defended, totally a thing. I totally predict this isn't a trap at all. Okay, so you can see this is your pre-battle screen where you get to choose what you're bringing with you on the mission. So that is my flagship right there. I'm gonna go ahead and use that because it's fairly cheap. This time I am going to use. I'll use the one with the auger. I know I want to level up the other one, but I'm just gonna use that one because I'm used to it. It's reliable. I've only got 86 points left. Fleet points is what they're called. That means I can get 2 of these, and I can't get that third one, unfortunately. Probably going to end up with 2 Firestorm frigates because they're very reliable. And they pack a pretty mean punch for how small they are and how quick they are. Alright, so that's
Admiral,
that.
Your fleet has reached the Chaos flagship's last known position. It is vitally important that you capture the enemy's plans from that vessel.
If you say so. So what this means is that I'm going to end up having to board them. And I can only do that once their void shields are down. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. It's pretty obvious. There's a bar above their ship, above their health, which is their shields, and when it goes dark as opposed to fully colored, that means that their shields are down and you can teleport on there or launch boarding craft. So up here in the top left, the UI is kind of weird. I will say that. That's one critique of this game I'm going to have to give. The UI is very strange. So if I wanted to go up here and collapse this menu, you can see that I'm just hovering over the little arrow, and it drove me all the way up into the top left corner of the map. So if I want to hide that for any stupid reason, like I just did, it'll drive me all the way up to the top left corner of the map. You can, of course, turn the camera however you'd like. Middle mouse button does that. So you can get a good look at the whole battleground. Yeah, so I mean, the game looks nice, but what you do to deploy is you basically take your mouse and try not to hit the top of the screen, and then left click, and then left click, and then those guys, left click, and left click. Now, just like any strategy game, you can select these guys, and then just hit like Control 1, Control 2, and then for these guys, I tend to do like, hold down Control. I guess it's not going to do it right now, is it? Well, I can also drag and drop like that, I think, if it's going to let me do it. It is, okay. And then just Control 3. So you can see it actually has the 3, and then over here somewhere it has 2, and then 1, so it'll tell you what battle group you've got selected. And that's deployment. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to move him to... Hey. You, move. Move the hell over. Weird, it's not letting me move it. Last time, oh, redeploy. Derpa. So all you have to do is just hit the little redeploy button. The big giant one that's really obvious. So again, the UI, it's not entirely the UI's fault. I am kind of an idiot, but the UI is a little confusing. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on the screen, and it's all very small, so a lot of it's going to be kind of confusing the first time you go through. Luckily, the tutorial is pretty decent. It's not going to feel like a tutorial either. I mean, it's going to be obvious after a while that it's a tutorial, but... Alright, so just to kind of give you a rundown, right here is your command section of your ship. So right now I've got one of these Firestorm frigates, basically. You can see here it says broadside engage. What I'm going to want to do for both of these guys, I might as well just hit Control 3, is actually go for frontal engage. That means that they will only shoot from that front 90-degree arc. So they will maneuver to have the front of their ship facing whoever they're firing at. Now these guys, I want them to be broadsides because that's where most of their weapons are. There's one guy, my main guy, who I want to be frontal because he has this guy right here. It's the Heavy Prow Lance. That does a decent amount of damage. I mean, 24 damage as opposed to these sides, which do 3 damage each. But they shoot off a whole bunch of like missiles or solid rounds, basically kinetic rounds, and they do 3 damage each. Whereas this, every time it fires, does 24 damage. So you can see this is a higher rate of fire, but much lower damage. Lower rate of fire, but much higher damage. And so he'll be the guy up in the front. I'm going to make him be shorter range, so hopefully the enemy will actually go ahead and focus on those two since they have a lot more health and a lot more shields. And then these guys in the back, hopefully I will be able to get them out to 6k. So you can, that's their range of engagement right there. That's how you'd like them to face the people that they're engaging. And then for these guys, down here at the bottom, it's basically, if you do have them engaging on the side, you can tell them whether you want them to just basically engage the closest side, engage with the left side, or engage with the right side. So, port and starboard, which is kind of cool that they use those nautical terms. And then finally we have a whole bunch of crap over here that we're going to use during the battle. Now that you've got kind of a rundown of that, it's going to get even more complicated, but I might as well start. It's great.
All troops have been briefed about the potential location of the plans on the enemy.
First thing we're going to do is use that auger probe right there. I'm gonna move everybody in to the cloud. Now, okay, over here you have something that's basically your maneuvering section. You can hit Q and speed up. You can hit Q to come back down. You'll see that there's actually a fuel gauge here to let you know that you actually have the ability to keep doing stuff. Basically, yeah, this uses that, so you can do maneuvers such as like high energy turns to the left or the right, or starboard report. All right. Oh, looks like we're just gonna end up having to just shoot the guy. Nothing fancy. And then of course you've got also other little things, like there's your special, you know, supercharged void shield. That's the first thing. But also we've got things like boarding action with teleporting. Oh, there's more stuff right there. That sucks. All right, I'm gonna speed up all of us. Alright, and then of course you've got things like this, like lock on, which I will probably do on all those guys right now, which basically gives me a higher critical chance. So here's another thing. When I click on the enemy ship, you'll see over here there's a priority list, so I can make this the highest priority, which I will. And then of course I can also destroy their engines. Instead of, you know, just firing at the ship in random order, I can actually destroy the engines so they can't move. I can also destroy the generators so they can't get their shields back up or try and warp out. Usually what you want to do is destroy the generators as much as possible. Or you can go ahead and focus on the deck. So I'm probably going to end up having to move these guys away. Yeah, we'll just move over there, over there. Over there, come on. Because it's almost done. Like, it's almost completely dead. So what I will do instead is I will go ahead and do that. Underway. So you can see here red. That basically means it's refilling, but it can't be used yet because it's just too hot.
Your orders. Understood.
All right, and then right click gets you everywhere.
All ahead full. Ship ready.
And then over here you've got this, which is basically emergency repairs. I'll put that on automatic just in case, because I am taking some damage and I don't want my ships to die. Oh, lightning strike failure, that's good.
Awaiting orders.
I think their void shield is still up, so I'm going to end up having to...
Speed set.
The enemy ship is trying to warp out with the objective.
This is our last chance! Board it! Now! At your command.
Oh, damn it.
This was an
no, okay, well, that sucks. What I'll do is I'll just go ahead and...
Record the signature of those enemy vessels.
That's great. Shut up.
We're going to follow these heretic ships back to their operations base and wipe it out.
Yeah, I'd really rather just replay that, honestly. Okay, so I'm not going to go ahead and replay that. You can see that you can fail it pretty easily. I was trying to actually hit lightning strike, but it wasn't going to work anyway. So you can see that you actually do have to maneuver your ships. It's a little bit weird. Like, it definitely takes some getting used to. And if you don't maneuver your ships, basically they're useless to you.
You've disappointed me, Spire.
Oh no, I've disappointed him. That's bad. So okay, so you also have other sections in the segmentum that you can go to, like Lisades, and so on and so forth. But Port Ma is where I need to go so I can get the mission right here. We've detected an enemy convoy carrying important resources. The convoy's route takes them to the system. It is ripe for an attack. Alright, what I'm actually going to do, because I am that kind of a jerk, is I'm going to load the game up again. And yeah, I'm positive. Since I've never played that mission before, I am going to reload it. And I'm going to try it again. This time I'm just going to board them.
The secret of defense.
Yep, shut up.
Admiral Spire, I am assigning...
Don't care.
Lord...
Just shh. So you can see pretty easy to screw up the mission if you're not paying attention. I only have it on normal. It's not easy or anything. It's also not really, really hard. We get that. 2 of those. Let's go.
Admiral, your fleet has reached the Chaos flagship's last known position.
Well, that's nice.
It is vitally important that you capture the enemy's plans from that vessel.
Oh, I know, right?
Everything you Imperial lapdogs believe is nothing but a lie.
I don't care. I don't care.
Your false Emperor will never reward you for this battle. He will not even know of your sacrifice.
Sure.
You turned away from the Emperor's light, traitor, and forever sealed your fate.
Very well, Admiral Lapdog.
Very well, Admiral Lapdog. That's... No, I don't think he likes him very much. Alright. Well, let's just do ready.
Sir,
Hit
one of our ships
space,
must board the target to seize the
those,
plans.
and then we'll take
All troops
those.
have been briefed about the
make them
potential
one.
location of the plans on the enemy
Yeah, we'll
ship.
just make it 2 battle
Just bring
groups.
us in a
This is a
boarding
really
range and we
simple
will
mission,
do our
looks like.
duty.
Alright.
Ship ready.
Make it that way, and yeah, okay, cool. And then these guys are all frontal. Also make it short range, oh, long range. Alright. Now where is... all the way the fuck over there.
Ship ready.
And press space so that it'll actually go back to normal time. You notice that it was still moving, like just really slow.
Tactical cogitators.
That's basically the tactical cogitators. It's the computer inside the ship actually working for you so you can react faster. I think that's pretty cool.
Your orders?
Alright. Full speed ahead.
Yes, Admiral.
Looks like there's another ship like right here, but it doesn't seem to want to bother us at all, so we're just gonna go for it.
Yes, Admiral.
See if we can uncover it anyway.
Cruising speed set.
We are the Imperial Navy.
Alright, for this one, we'll go
Enemy
ahead
ship
and hit
sighted.
lock on. That guy will make him the highest priority and hopefully wipe out his generators this time.
At your command.
We'll see, we'll see. Hopefully we can get to him in time. He was way across the map this time, that kind of sucked. You can see that the actual level changed too. It's not exactly the same as it was last time.
Your orders?
Alright, we're almost to a point where we can use full speed ahead again, or whatever it's called. It's called all ahead full. I was close. I was really close. Okay.
Your orders?
And
Engines to maximum.
so you can see the little guys are actually a little bit faster than the big ones, which is pretty cool. And you could probably see how slow that probe was going as well. Alright.
Awaiting
As
orders.
soon as that blue goes down, we're gonna hit H and jump right in.
Cruising speed set.
I mean, you know, assuming that we actually can get to it. Actually, we're just gonna go ahead and hit boarding action almost immediately. There we go.
Admiral, the plans are ours.
Cool.
Fool. I will seize back those plans.
Worked.
From the flaming wreckage of your ship, and you shall suffer.
Alright, and you can see way down here on the bottom left is kind of the stats of the ship itself that you're just attacking. Like, you have rotation, and then you have speed, and you have the firepower, I believe, and then you've got like shields, and you have like crew around here somewhere too. In any case, all that stuff actually does have an effect on whether or not you can beat him.
Ship
This one
ready.
needs to be repaired. Let's put that on, will you?
At your command. Engaging.
And I want this guy to kind of... You can see that that's like the torpedoes right there. The thing is, you have to be really careful with them because you can actually hit your own ship.
The enemy has seized back the plans.
Oh man!
Don't let them escape with them.
The enemy ship is trying to warp out with the objective.
This is our last chance. Board it now.
Awaiting.
What? No. What? You didn't even give me like a half a second to... you motherfuckers. I don't care. Shut up. Go away. It's stupid. I wish there was just like a really easy way to just get the hell out of here and reload this. Just sit through this shit. It's like sitting through a loading time. I'm not really happy with that. Was I defeated? That sucks. Alright, I'm gonna give this one more shot. Hurry up. Hurry up. Yeah, I know. We're loading. It's great. Hurry up.
You've disappointed me.
Alright, let's go back to the... one more time. Fucking positive. Let's do it.
Attack.
Shh. Resume, of course.
Admiral Spire.
Yeah. Yep. Totally. Gotta go. Yep. Gotta get that ship. We're gonna get it.
We've
It was really weird. Like, my main capital ship was taking one hell of a beating. And no, thank you. That's the one. 2 of those. Let's go.
Admiral, your fleet has reached the Chaos flagship's last known position. It is vitally important that you capture the enemy's plans from that vessel.
Everything you Imperial lapdogs believe is nothing but a lie.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Your false Emperor will never reward you for this battle. He will not even know of your sacrifice.
You turned away from the Emperor's light, traitor, and forever sealed your fate.
I mean, not to be a jerk, you know, or anything, but if you're Chaos and you're complaining or saying that, you know, that the Emperor is such a piece of shit and all that, it's kind of, I don't want to call it ironic, maybe just stupid. Right there. Chaos isn't exactly the kindest of, you know, patrons in the world. Let's put 2 over there and put 1 right there. We are ready. Press space. Where is it?
Must board the target to seize the plans. All troops have been briefed about a potential location of the plans on the enemy ship. Just bring us in a boarding range and we will do our duty.
Alright, let's get 1 and
your orders.
2 to be at 3K. And put, we'll put them at 3K too, it's fine, but they need to be up front. I think that's the one. Alright. Space again.
Normal functions.
And Q.
Engines to maximum.
Q. Oh man. Okay.
Yes, Admiral.
It's too late for them. I totally didn't see that in time. That's gonna hurt.
Yes, Admiral.
Every single time I do this, I think it's gonna be easy, and then nope.
Cruising speed set.
Here we go.
Your orders?
Oh my god, they went through all of that and they're totally out of fuel. Alright, make him the first priority and get rid of his generators.
At your command.
It's taken a while for that to come back. Oh, cool. Okay, so if I do that,
Reloading.
that'll improve the combustion gauge. That's not too bad.
Ready. Reloading. Targeting enemy vessel. All ahead full.
Yeah, we gotta catch up to the guy, man. This is gonna suck. That bomb, that stasis bomb, totally screwed us. Hopefully this time I can actually just finish it. You don't say. I had my shields up still, bruh. That's not exactly smart of you. Alright, and shields are down, it looks like.
Admiral, the plans are ours.
Fool. I will seize back those plans from the flaming wreckage of your ship. And you shall suffer 1,000 deaths as a sacrifice to the dark gods.
I do not fear the idle threats of a vile traitor. Navigator, engage the warp engine and set a course to Port Moore.
Where is the warp engine? Is that the warp jump? That is. 42 seconds. I gotta sit here and last that long. Alright. Let's get to clear. Have him be front prow gun so I can actually get over there.
Engines hot. Admiral, the enemy has seized back the plans.
Okay.
Don't let them escape with them. Your orders? Target locked in.
Oh, come on, man. Dude, that was hella quick. He made such a weird little turn.
Yes,
Come on, come on, come on. Go. Go now. Everybody. Move out his ass.
Your orders? Damage teams.
The enemy ship is trying to warp out with the objective.
That's the
This
one.
is our last chance. Board it now.
Yeah, no shit. Come on, 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 get up there, get up there. Ah, son of a bitch, man. This is never gonna happen. Well, it's clear that I suck at this game, guys. I don't know if it's actually able, like, if there's actually a way to actually beat this level. I'm gonna try again, but that is Battlefleet Gothic. I'm kind of liking it. I do want to keep playing it. I will actually end up beating this game. I've heard the campaign isn't ridiculously long, so hopefully it'll have some replay value later on. I'm not sure I'm going to play any multiplayer, but I might try that out later. I hope you liked the video. I hope you liked what you saw. If you did, go ahead and leave a like. If you didn't, let me know just how shitty I am in the comments. Feel free. Either way, I hope you liked the video, and I will see you guys another time.